The Crypto Markets Update is presented by Grayscale, the world's largest digital currency asset manager.
Let's have a live look at Bitcoin. The CoinDesk Bitcoin price XPX index is at $54,849, climbing ever so slightly by 1.6% over the past 24 hours. And the CoinDesk Ether price ETX index is also marching ahead 1.4% for the day, trading at 3616. And the DFX CoinDesk DeFi index is at 599, teetering on that $600 level. But DeFi is up about 1% over the past 24 hours. And joining us now to discuss the crypto markets is Rob Frasca, co-founder and managing partner of VC firm Cosimo Ventures. Hi there, Rob. Happy Friday.
Hey.
So we see some mixed results in the crypto markets now. Wondering what your outlook is.
Yeah, look, so I think what we're seeing, really what's driving the markets here, probably one or two really prominent things. One is this whole regulatory climate. When investors are uncertain about regulatory climate, they tend to pull back. And anytime we see some clarity, then the market tends to move. And I think, this week with SEC Chairman Gensler going out there and saying he's not going to ban crypto, that's really what people are reacting to. Every time we take a step forward to regulatory clarity, what we see is market movement. And that's really, I think, one of the key things driving the markets. The second thing I think is important is just institutional activity. As we do get more regulatory clarity, more institutions are comfortable in moving into the market. And then you just kind of get the whole lemming effect, right? Because the institutions tend to follow each other and tend to jump in on momentum. So I think those are really the two things that are driving the market and pushing it up, certainly over 55. And certainly there's a macro backdrop as well with some of the things that are going on there. But I don't think that's driving as much as just kind of regulatory certainty there.
So, Rob, speaking of that macro backdrop, is this: we've had serious issues happen in China this past week with the real estate market there, with the lending market. This massive buy that happened on Wednesday of about $1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin, either in the perpetual futures or the spot market, shot prices up several $1,000s. And that happened as companies in China were defaulting on their loans, and it was happening. The trade itself happened on exchanges in Asia. Does that potentially mean that this current rally may not have the kind of legs, even if all the other stuff you said is indeed what's happening? Does that mean that this current rally up to 55 and change or 54 may not have the sort of support that we would expect it to have in the next few days, if not weeks?
It could be. I don't have a crystal ball, but let me tell you, my philosophy on all of this is a little more long-term versus short-term. I look at what's going on here. I'm a .com guy, right? I actually started the very first financial service on the internet back in 1993, and the company was acquired by Intuit. So I've been doing this stuff for a while, and so I kind of take a little longer-term look at this. I like to think that what we're seeing today is akin to kind of 1997 on the internet. So when you think about that, right, back in 1997, it was probably 150, 200 million users on the internet, and there were a lot of uncertainty, particularly with security, copyright infringement, all kinds of things that we hear about. And ultimately, we're at about the same place here in the crypto world. And so what I look at is what is required to get the rest of the world on board to this movement. And that's where things like regulatory uncertainty come in, right? The people that have crypto now don't really care a whole heck of a lot about regulation, right? But the people that are coming in do care about it. So, short term, I think it could be short-lived, but long term, this has got a long way to go. And I think it's important to really think that way.
Rob, do you have any thoughts on the recent rise of Sheepcoin?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't pay attention to that at all. To me, that's noise. It's entertainment. It's fun to look at it. But you're talking to
we
the
see
wrong
there,
guy
Elon
on
Musk.
that one.
Again, tweeting out his new
Be ready for
puppy.
the angry tweets now from all the big sheep holders.
Yeah, exactly. Go for it. Hold them.
But Rob, since you're a VC, you're doing a lot of investments in this space, and given your outlook that, we're in the 97 period of the internet, if you were to compare it to the crypto innovation going on now, what kind of investments are you making?
Well, look, I personally believe that this is the single largest value creation event in our lifetime. I mean, this is absolutely an incredible time to be looking at this. And when you look at tech adoption, the majority of value happens when the mass market, right, that kind of early majority jumps in. We saw this with the internet, and that's exactly what's going on now. Is the early majorities coming in, the institutions are getting comfortable with this, money is flooding in. One of the numbers that I look at is Bitcoin dominance. And what that tells me is that I look at Bitcoin, I'm a huge Bitcoin holder, I'm absolutely a big believer in Bitcoin, but I look at the alternative currencies, the alternative uses of blockchain, and that's what we invest in at Cosimo. So when you look at Bitcoin dominance, 43, 44%, what that's saying to me is that as this new market comes on, this early majority comes on, they come into Bitcoin generally first. Sorry, I got some sunshine in my face here. They come into Bitcoin first, and then they say, oh, wow, I've got some great alpha here. What else can I go after? And so I think that the altcoin market is really exciting, and I think it's going to continue to grow. Any you can name in particular? Yeah, look, we're an investor in Casper Labs, Layer 1. Pretty excited about that. We're an investor in Kibo, doing some interesting things on the derivative side, an alternative kind of store of value called NDAO. And we're also spending a lot of time looking at the NFT space. Although I hate the fact that it's called NFTs, because from my perspective, again, coming back to the .com era, I actually think NFTs is really all about digital rights management, right? It's all about royalties. It's about creating a peer-to-peer decentralized network of royalties. And that's what we have,
non-fungible
right?
tokens. We should call them digital royalties.
I really do, right? You think about it. We have all these content creators all over the world. And who's getting the royalties from it, right? There's got to be a better way.